All right, good afternoon. Today we're going to talk about this homework. So we're going to be looking at the IUCN and the Redlist. So there's actually two different associated websites within this activity. So we're trying to familiarize ourselves with both websites because we will be doing a project that's asking us to discuss and compare organisms that are extinct on the red list and whose conditions have improved. So we'll be looking at these websites extensively, so you need to just get a good background of how they work and what information is on there. So the first one's just asking us about the IUCN, so we're going to go to the general website. So here, there's just loads of information. So if you look, it's actually, it's a bit complicated, but you can click About to start. You can read a little bit about what their purpose is, all right, and then you should use that information. Oops, not here. You should use that information to summarize the purpose and how they work. Then it says to summarize the IUCN program from 17 to 2020. So if you click back on the website, it actually, let's see, within this section it says Program of Work and Reporting. So we'll click there. Okay, so this is where it's talking about that IUCN program 2017 to 2020. So you're going to read through that in order to answer those questions. So you can see tons and just tons of information. As we continue, the next question asks about those three areas. The three areas are on that same page. So if you click back, all right, you can see them in this graphic, but also they're described below. Please make sure you're writing everything in your own words, so copying does not help you remember or learn the information, so just try and reword it and think about what it's actually saying. Then it's asking us to go to the red list section. So there's a few things, okay? So the red list can actually take us to a very different website. So if we scroll down to the bottom, right, it says the IUCN red list. Okay, so there's a little bit of information about the red list here, but it says for more information you have to go to the IUCNredlist.org. So you are going to end up here. Perfect. In this section, okay, it's asking you the purpose of the red list. We talked about that a bit as well within our notes, so you can feel free to review that as well. Then it says under the resources, go to categories and criteria, and we're looking at those different criteria. Okay, so there's 9 of them for organisms that are studied by the IUCN and what those indications are. So let's see. So resources, and I think classifications criteria. Okay. Let me see. Okay. First off, I see that there's 2 versions, but the most recent one is this one, 2001. So I'm just scrolling down and I'm looking at these classifications here, though there is more information. So we don't just want to stop there. We want to keep going. Okay, perfect. And then we get here to the categories. We're looking at all of this information and just summarizing it in our own words. Okay, so it's important to make sure that it's put in your own words and not just in their words. Okay, back to here. So we'll skip around a little bit. Okay, classification schemes. Okay, it says find them under resources. Maybe we should make this a capital R for that section. Okay. And again, it's directing you. So for each question, it's kind of telling you where to look. So this says look under red list training in resources. So I tried to be clear about where we're looking. And then to check this documentation standards and consistency checks. That should also be in those resources. Then we get to one of the most challenging parts, which is to practice using the search criteria. And this time it says to find an endangered mammal. And give pertinent information about why they're disappearing. So let's go back. The search, okay, so the search engine is quite complex, so we want to click on other search options. So you can click something general, but here we probably want to be a little bit more specific. So first, we'll notice a few things. You can go to taxonomy. You could click everything, or you can remove everything and then pick something really, really specific. So these are all right here, animals, and then down below you can see a bunch of other things. So we might also be interested in some bacteria and some plants, okay, a little bit later. But right now it said mammals, I believe. So we're looking at, okay, the Animalia. Those are chordates. Okay, so they have a spine. We're looking at Mammalia. So that's what we're looking at. And then in order for it to be moved over, you actually have to click to move it over into your search options. So you can see it appear here. This is what I've already looked up, so I think it saved my options. And then you can click down, actually, it gives you some other things that you can search for. So it's just interesting if you're interested in something specific a little bit later. Okay, you can even look at reasons why they're threatened. And then assessment. So within the assessment, you can choose the type of criteria you want. So we wanted endangered, though you can see extinct, extinct in the wild, regionally extinct. So you could search for all of those things potentially as well. Okay, so now that we have this, let's see. Hopefully moved over. Hopefully we still have our taxonomy information. Perfect. So once we have those things selected, we're going to run the search. And then we can just double check. So, start out with some fruit bats here. So we can click on one, and then it gives you loads of information. So this is what we're going to be using in our next project. So if you look, it has a summary, assessment information, geographic range, so where it lives, information about the population, habitat and ecology, and then if we scroll down, okay, conservation actions and threats. So it's just amazing, extensive information that they've collected here, and that's why, I mean, that's what the IUCN is known for. So their ability to collect accurate information, and to allow people to contribute to these studies as well. So super, super interesting. You can look at all their bibliography. You can look at the full account. Right? It's just really thorough. It's very professionally done. So you're going to be using this later on, so I just want you to practice using it. It is a very interesting search engine, so get used to it. And good luck, and I will see you on, let's see, Tuesday, I guess. All right? Have a good weekend. Bye.